Hello and welcome back to my Panzer Corps 2 demo playthrough. Exciting times. Beta 8 has arrived with tons of new features and tweaks. For example, units can no longer attack where they cannot go, so that should, for example, solve the problem with Norwegian leaving their homes to stand on the beaches shooting at ships passing by and shooting at Blücher with old Kiregsmarine rifles. Just isn't gonna do much good. Also, entrenchment tweaked a little bit. Engineer no longer completely ignore entrenchment, but harm remaining entrenchment, so you have an incentive for bombardment beforehand. And also you might want to just attack without engineers because the difference isn't that huge anymore, or at least you can get away with maybe fewer engineers and tons of other tweaks. The general trade system has been balanced a bit. You have can now change the number of trades you start with in advanced settings, and positive and negative traits have been rebalanced and some have been tweaked a bit. So I'm going to go a new game campaign. I'm going to play on kernel but advanced options, and I will try to emulate my previous playthrough. So I will set this to 3, otherwise, because of the rebalancing, I cannot afford the same trait. So I take Poland South since I took Poland North last time. So last time I took no overstrengthening my units. I had inefficient supply and bad luck, Panzer, Infantry General, anti-air veteran, and perimeter control. And this is obviously Maximilian's twin brother Heinrich. Fun. Adler, Eagle, Horse, Nest. So accept. And this is the briefing of Poland. Move forward, take Poland in a few weeks, take these 4 objectives. This one can be encircled, same with maybe, no, it's on the edge, maybe not that one, and I probably can't get over on the other side anyway, so, but this is interesting, I could maybe encircle it. I had some forces. Yes, I must take these crossings. Weird dark blob and icons. I must report that to the developers. If I take this fast, it doesn't say exactly how fast. I will still prevent Poles from getting prestige, I guess. Okay, and briefing. So we will need to tweak our army a little bit, and I see I have 3 infantry, 1 weak gun, recon, Panzer 38. Okay, this one is good. This one can just be replaced by a 2C. Air Force is small, but I think I cannot afford anything with just 1200 prestige. So I will build up my ground forces, and then on some later rounds I can buy more planes. Probably a couple of BF 110s. They are good in Poland. So let's start with the upgrading. I will make this a 2C. You see, everything costs 2 slots because of my Panzer General trait. So why have a 1B when you can have a 2C? This I don't like. It can be a 10.5 centimeter, which is an excellent gun, 3 range, better soft attack. I will make this a Pioneer, in fact, because Pioneers are still good. I will give this guy a truck, and I will give this guy Grenadier status and the Opal, maybe? No? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. I will buy a new tank, another 2C. It's Panzer Corps, and I will have this half track, and I can have the big gun, maybe? Did I take half track? Yes. Purchase 930. Purchase. And this I can upgrade then. Can I? No? Cannot be upgraded to Grenadier. Okay. Just a truck then. The map is fairly long and there are no rail transport, so I think maybe having that option isn't so bad. So let's plop down our extra units, artillery to shoot up there, anti-air there, and we can move that one a little bit further. I'm assuming you have followed my other videos, so that this will probably be a little bit faster. So 0 prestige, that's pretty well done. Getting 100 per turn, so 1500 extra, plus capturing flags. I will try to take them all if I can. I'm not so concerned about disrupting this mobilization. If the Poles get extra forces, it will mean more killing and more XP for me. That's not good role playing, but it is the truth. Yes. Okay. Yes, I will just hit end deployment. So, what to do? You can be sure that this area here has some form of yes. This is too good to be true. I could maybe have placed my recon unit better, but I will move it over here and I will shoot it with artillery. See, it went up from 2 to 3. Absolutely works. And 1 and 4, decent suppression there. Can send my tanks in. They're probably gonna take some damage because AI, yes, AI always gets like, oops, wait, I will follow up, but that didn't help. Then it can shoot. And we get an overrun. And this guy can move down here. I will shoot my... It is best not to... No, that was the anti-air, not what I intended there. No. This is the best. If he absolutely wants to bomb my inf, he can be allowed to do so. So I will start by hitting him. And he retreats with 1 strength. I think we can live with that. But of course he can see these units now, so it could be that he comes down here and wants to bomb that infantry. What should I do with the recon car? I completely forgot the little one. I think I will drive it down there. No one else can move, so turn. No, he wanted to. Of course, he wants to bomb my artillery. I can understand him, but he took 5 damage. And now you can see it looks like the algorithm takes into account unit size. So if the unit is weaker, fewer strength points, it will do less damage. Slightly less, not a lot, but slightly less. And I will kill him. Want him going back and building up his strength. I would see if any of my tanks can go down here. No. That is a bit of a left down. No, I have to capture here anyway, so one of these units have to go down here and capture. And I think maybe this recon unit will be the one to do it. And I will go forward. And I will hit him with both artillery and hopefully force him back and out into the river, because standing on a river in a village like this, you get no defensive penalty. Standing on a river like this with no town or village, you get a huge defensive penalty. So that is not really enough. We could try to simulate that. That is a good attack. And he surrenders because he has no more movement point to retreat. When you are pushed back into a river, you use all your movement points. So there is that. Now I wish to push forward, but you can bet there are defenders there that will come do nasty things to me if I get too offensive. So I won't get too offensive. But I will move this forward, and this is my big gun. and I think because he can come here, but he cannot come here and down here, so this one is safe. But I think I want a tank here to guard against any counterattacks, and why not also set up this artillery piece. And this artillery piece provides only soft cover, but this also has hard cover, so anyone attacking this infantry would be in a world of hurt. Yes, he has a truck. You can either walk or use the truck, so strangely there are no situations where he can move and undeploy. Oh, that was strange. So why am I not advancing here, you can ask? I was told to take this crossing, but there is no flag here. I get no prestige from taking this crossing. So I would much rather have my forces together here, where my gun can protect them. See? This single 88 provides a degree of protection for all my units. So when your army grows, you want more 88s. And then you might also want some lighter pieces to protect against ground attack aircraft. And they can go alongside your Tigers or your precious heavy artillery. And I guarantee you that 188 and one lighter piece will make you almost immune to damage. Not immune to attack by strategic bombers, but because they are not so heavily affected by 20mm and 37mm anti-aircraft guns, but they mostly do suppression damage anyway. So the 88 will deal damage to them, then they will bomb, but they will perhaps do 0 kills or just 1 kill against artillery. Against your good tanks, they will do nothing. So air defense has become very good in Panzer Corps 2, and it is an integral part of your unit. And you can see the new system for moving the units, where they can disembark from the transport if they don't move too far. That completely changes the dynamic of the game. I found it very disappointing that no towed artillery could actually be used, except the very heaviest ones, and that anti-aircraft was so weak that you had to have a swarm of fighters on your own. So they have changed that, and also normal infantry is great. You need normal infantry in this game, because otherwise you can't take hills and swamps and towns and forests and that sort of thing. Tanks just won't do it. So yeah, lots of interesting changes. But now, of course, your grenadiers can move forward like 4 hexes and disembark from their half tracks and not be so vulnerable, and they get the combat bonus from the half tracks. There are so many new features here. It's hard to remember all of them and tell you about it, but sheer brilliance, yes, they have taken everything that was good about old games, Panzer General series games, and Panzer Corps, of course, and they have really distilled it and improved it. And you can see, I'm not a graphics kind of guy. I don't play zoomed in like this. I could do it. They are great looking units. Just look at the T-38. You can clearly see that it is the T-38, and they have been rendered in 4K. So amazing. And you can see the water flowing. You can see these guys very with their bolt carbine, and you can clearly see that these are Panzer II with a 20mm cannon and a 7.92 MG 34. So even they even have the wheel sizes and the number of wheels correct, and the characteristic nails on the T-38. So, and the artillery pieces look like correct, and the planes look correct, and yes, it's amazing. And after playing a little bit, I also have come to appreciate how the terrain looks. So it's weird to say that when I first saw it, that I was not so impressed. What is this? I don't need this 3D. And I remember the old Panzer General 3D, but I love this game, both the gameplay and secondary, also the graphics. But now I have talked a lot. See, even the end turn button is starting to get annoyed, so it wants me to press it. And it comes, and it gets hammered. And of course it has no way of knowing I have this huge anti-aircraft gun. This is what I love the best. Putting it 1 to 3 hexes behind where nothing can see it, and the AI will come and it will look around with its spotting. This has maybe only one spotting. Now it has two. So this plane can look and it thinks, oh, everything is going great. But no, everything is not going great then. But now I talked so much that I forgot to buy extra planes last round. So maybe I will just do this. It's a nice trick. It's not cheating, but the game auto saves at the end and start of every turn. So if you suddenly realize, I often do, that I've forgotten to move a unit, I was going to move this plane last or something like that, or something was down in a corner and you forgot it, and it turns out really stupid, you can just click end of turn, because end of turn is after you stop doing shit. Okay, sorry about that. So you can go purchase unit, and I was talking about how I wanted to have planes, and I can actually afford one of each, one Stuka, 110. So I will buy them. They cannot act this round, but they can act next round. So that is why I wanted to go back and buy them. And I think the same will happen. It doesn't run. And this is a bit strange because the combat prediction is from when I shoot again. Okay, so it is correct. So he kills 5, then he is smaller, so there's a slightly smaller chance of hitting. I shoot him. Then I push forward and I kill this plane. And I push forward with my Stuka. Let's hope he doesn't have any fighters, because now it is unescorted. I don't think that will be a problem. It cannot possibly have that strong an air force. Well, it could have more air force, but it cannot have a massively powerful air force. So here, yes, I see a change. They have changed the way infantry deploy out of their vehicles. I definitely need to get half tracks now, because the system has changed dramatically. I think that's for the better. What I'm talking about is before these, everything could disembark up until the point where you had 2 movement points left. So trucks, they could drive 6 hexes and you could still redeploy 6 hexes along a road, but not so far in the fields, of course. But now trucks are everything is limited to 1. They have to have 1/3 movement points remaining, and that seems much more balanced. So it's not so easy to just drive a trucks into the open and disembark here, but half tracks are doing fine. So unfortunately, I have exactly 3 tanks, and I will only one of them, the undamaged one, will go here, yes. And this will move up to screen here. And I think this guy will go here. Because now there is no way this cavalry could sneak around me. So I take only 1 damage. But my big hope here is that I can manage to push him back now. Yes, because what can happen then? Then he's suddenly out in a new hex. And I bet that if I didn't have bad luck, I like talking about bad luck, I would have been able to kill him. But now that didn't happen. So I'll move my artillery piece forward, and I move this artillery piece here, because nothing can walk through all these hills and attack me, and if they do, I have this one in support. Yes. The pioneers are my most valuable unit, so I will advance them. And this has taken no damage, so I will advance it. But I will not do that after all, because I want to have my... But I can park here, nothing can get to me here. And I will just keep the infantry here. It is standing in the open, but well, I can give it a... You spent 20 prestige, and but it's not important. And you can actually see that I can already afford yet another unit, so if I really wanted, I could buy some more. I'm thinking I could always use more BFs. This heavy fighter is it's pretty good against all kinds of targets. It doesn't defend so well, but it is a good attacker. And I have 3 tanks, and I could always use the second recon unit. So what do I buy? I can also use a spotter plane. So maybe I will start by getting a spotter. Yes, I cannot afford anything else. I could have taken another BF, but yes, I would think I will do that, but only next round. So this one hasn't moved, but it doesn't plan to move. So here they come. This is my soft attack artillery, so it didn't defend. Very vexing, you can say. Here we can do some good work. It can actually escort while it kills. And what is interesting to me here now is looking around and having a good spot. So there is nothing within 4 hexes of Kilche. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. This is a 2C. I want that tank killer to do the overrun. And I want my artillery to advance. And I will use this as protection. And this is protection. And I will set up this one here. Right. See, this is easy because 1, 2, 3 movement points, 4, 5, and that is exactly how far it can move. So, very good. This works. Oh, this is a wreck, of course. And you see the wrecks disappear when you move something in there. So I could go down there. I could also go up here. I think can I actually make the hill? This is a bit odd because if I take forced march, I think I will talk to the developers and say that maybe forced march should do nothing for how many movement, because then I suddenly have 9 movement points and then I'm able to reach these hexes going all the way here. I think we'll just do it this way. And now I have 204 prestige, so let's expand the Luftwaffe. So now I suddenly have 2, 4, 5 planes instead of 1 plane. That's not bad. I like it. I think that does it. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so it was just 4 turns. Could I have taken it in 4 turns? Yes, I have done that in beta 6 just to try to do it. But then you should just ignore this hex, go forward as far as possible in round 1. Take this out in round 2, then move our over here and set up artillery defensively. Wipe out his cavalry and be here in round 3. Hit him with artillery, and assault with infantry, and use all means necessary to take him out. And it is possible. It's not easy, and I think maybe for new players it would be nicer if it was turn 6. Okay, but enough about that. Actually, I like it because now we can bring his units to full strength and make a big difference there. So we will get some accuracy bonus, and now I use perimeter control to get around him. And I use this one to get around him. And I capture the airfield. And I bring up my other infantry here. And of course these two infantry have backing from this artillery. I could actually move them after. So we haven't used our air force yet, but it's not certain that yes, this one reaches. In the meantime, I can dismiss that, and I know there is something here. And I will move this one here. And I'll want to go have a look. So anti-aircraft cannon, more infantry, 2 infantry, artillery. You can see these spotter planes for 1 slot and 50. Very, very good. You can have 2. Plus, if you hang them over a unit, you get an accuracy bonus of the same kind you get from having your recon here. So they will start here. It's just 1-6, and I have barely bombed it, and I have shot it with 2 medium-sized artillery. And even with a new rule from Beta 8, see, he has 4 remaining. 4 is the default remaining entrenchment in towns and cities. It never goes away. It never goes below 4. So engineer for himself and the 2 adjacent units, basically him and their infantry, because this one isn't going to attack into town. So he's halving it, so it's actually 2 entrenchment on that Polish infantry. But pioneers have decent soft attack, but they have very hard 8 close defense, so they take little damage in return. So let's burn, and he is already out. And it can be prudent to make sure he doesn't retreat back into the city. I don't think he would in this case. But now we can enjoy this. And I will move forward, and there he has one more little bugger, but I do not think he will have any more air force. So to clean out all these cities, I need to have more than 1-2 infantry, so this guy has to somehow move up. I also need to move some of my artillery up. This is the big guy. This is just 1, and he will have to stop here. He could go here, but then he has to stop here. He doesn't have the ability that I do. So nothing else can move forward. So, and you can see that this one has a good speed, 5. So it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, but then have to stop here. So I should not put weak units here. But I could put this guy here, and I could push this artillery in the city, and I could easily have this one go over here. So now I have no more slots, nothing else to buy. So yes, you can see he suddenly reinforced everything. It was because I failed to disrupt the mobilization effort. But let's be honest, this guy, he's just standing around in the open. And I can just, what should I say, train my infantry a little bit. I will take no. And I do this because I would like to have the opportunity to generate an overrun. And I want to have this one here. And I want to have my recon, this one. And now, you see, oh, it's suddenly 0 to 4. Okay, he got lucky. Nothing much I can do about that. Oh, he gets lucky all around. So you can guarantee that my little bad luck trait is much worse than the 1 point they are giving me. But overrun attack, so I can get a bonus strike on this guy. And then we move forward, and we bring up our artillery. I can always move this after, but he's out of Air Force, I am sure. I'll use the force march to go into the forest. If he wants to come play in the forest, he's more than welcome. It will only hurt him. So, what should I do here? These guys are not doing too much, so I will rebase. I don't necessarily have to rebase everything because I would run out of targets. So I think I will just keep one here. Train. And why not? They do 1 point of entrenchment damage, so it's not useless. I do plan to, if I have time, to capture all the objectives. I just wanted to see if with what I call normal speed play I could capture Kilche, but I could not. Okay, now I think all my interesting units are moved, so it's end turn. So he shoots, he does some suppression, I fire in support, and the attack becomes rather sad. And now of course he is in the open. And there I would like to have my yes, I'm going to do that. And you can see I can easily go around here because of special trait, and that is pretty crazy. It's not crazy, but it is a pretty good ability. That's what I'm trying to say. And I want to generate another overrun. And I can move him here. And I want to guard those two most of all. Yes, do I have to take care of anything? I could maybe give him some elite replacements. Yes, it would make the end game a little bit easier. This guy I want to move here. To set up the second artillery in the forest. Just keep an eye on them with my spotter plane. And let's keep this guy honest. And this guy also honest. See, he went down from 6 to 5, so they dig and the BF 109 comes strafing them and they're losing. So maybe some things, maybe like weak fighters don't need to do entrenchment damage. Nah, it's okay, it's not a big deal, it's a very minor issue. Let's find the way it is. So you can see what happens if you try. It's a decent tank, it has good hard defense, it has 0 close defense, so once you drive it into the town here, or maybe it is a city, it's a town, and they have now gone up to 8 entrenchment, so they will shoot first and they will be very mean. So absolutely not. So I could do no damage and I can completely suicide myself if I want to. So in Panzer Corps 2 you have to think combined arms. You have to protect your units with anti-aircraft artillery and later also anti-tank guns. And you have to bring artillery for the suppression. You have to have an air force. You have to use your tanks to control the ground, eliminate enemy armor. Then you have to bring up your infantry, and you have to combine again airplanes, artillery, engineers to take cities with minimal casualties. If you just go piecemeal, and you can have any number of good tanks or even good infantry and good guns, but without a plan, without combined arms tactics, you're going nowhere. And this I really, really like. So yes, that's turn for me. And if you think the AI is passive here, he isn't. But it's absolutely nothing I can do. He can make a futile attack out of the city. These two have artillery, so I cannot reach this one. But this one, the weakest one, has artillery support. This is very hard to damage. This has a rapid fire gun. So he would only harm himself by attacking out the city. So it is only the correct action. He can only wait and see. Same with this guy, he can't go anywhere. Same with this guy. And this guy could theoretically start to wander around, but he probably has orders to stay put. Same with these two. So I think in this scenario the AI's behavior is very well modeled. Okay, enough talk. So do I bomb them or do I provide extra spotting? That's always a hard choice, because the spotting effect is absolutely real. But let's try spotting, because now I have a spotter plane and I have a recon, so my artillery should be much more effective. And now, unfortunately, I can't fully encircle. Normally I would encircle this town, but this is a supply point, you see, so I can't fully encircle it. And this, you see, this is not good, because now it is not adjacent to the engineer. So this is much better. I move this one step, and you say I have much better odds. So look at this stacking. I have mass attack from several different units. I could even move this tank up here for perhaps an even greater bonus. Let's see. Well, I don't see any major differences. But multiple mass attacks, recon bonuses, both from the plane and the recon car, and the bonus from the pioneers. So here is so much text. Actually, the wear infantry is the most effective. And then, yes, I did enough damage, so he has to surrender. So what you saw, I could attack with any number of my tanks and they would be almost slaughtered, each and every one of them. But now, when I stack my bonuses and use combined arms, I use my spotter plane, recon, I surround the enemy, I use preparatory artillery fire, and I send in my infantry with engineering support, then suddenly the puzzle is solved. So this is how you have to play. Now, that goal is taken. So the question is, should I just clean out this guy now and then move on and take this for last? I think that is probably the best course of action. And these two have already moved, of course. But this is a recon, so I can go over here already. And I will back them with my best gun. And my other gun will move over here. I don't really need this, but it is good practice to move it. These units have moved. I could have... no, sorry. I will just undo this instead. I hope that's okay with you. Now I'll start the process of moving my units west. And here I wish I had the Master of Blitzkrieg, because then I could quickly cross this minor river instead of having to go through this annoying ford. I don't really have use for this tank anymore, so it can stay down there. But I have not bombed anyone yet, so I will bomb this guy. And I will bomb this guy. This is 40 millimeters, so it has 2 range, so it either has to come to me or it won't be able to bomb at all. The strategic layer is fully operational, so you can play the whole game here. And here you can see the green units are enemies, and you can also see that they haven't moved and haven't attacked. This guy, this is my tank. It has moved because it's not green here. It has not attacked because it is red here. So you can see which units have attacked and moved. And you can see all the roads and the terrain and everything. And it's actually pretty cute. But this is my favorite. Pretty zoomed out, and I probably do this too much, so you get dizzy. I'm sorry. And this is... well, this is strange. Okay, yes, it's now longer a city. So you see, this unit now has a penalty to defense, a massive penalty. Before this was a town and it was very hard to take because they can go straight on the offensive. Cool. I didn't realize that before now. So, next turn. Then I will start by doing this. No, I will not start by doing this. I will do my fun recon trick. And I have maximum recon. And I will hit him lots and lots of... and I will completely wipe him out. And then my recon will very quickly grab these two objectives. And my primary forces will quickly move over here. And you can see his defenses collapsed pretty quickly. Might as well send him here. Yes, I'm not going to move that guy anymore. Using my best to bomb. And I think Dea is out of prestige. He doesn't gain prestige every round like I do. He gains prestige whenever the scenario says he gains prestige. Could be every turn, but that isn't the case in this scenario, or he would recover his strength here. Did I forget anything? That is always my question, yes. No, I have a truck here, so I don't want him to come out. I also don't want to stand on the river, because you remember what happened to this guy? It was not pretty. So, and again I think I will do the... No, I will not do the recon trick. Or will I? Yes, let's do the recon trick. Yes, it uses a few movement points to move onto the road, and then it has to cross over, so, and it has wheel movement, so it takes a little while. But it's okay. And now 4-7, not so great. 2-7 is much better. Just to check, it would make it 1-7. And that is of course pretty good. And I could go there, but I could also go here. But if I do this, then I will capture this last text and I will miss out on the extra prestige. So I will instead just walk through. And here you can see they have a little recon car. Oh, that is air defense. I can wait around. I can send one tank down here. You see, very bad odds standing on the river and attacking into the forest there. This one has moved. Well, it's not such bad odds. I think they have upped the lethality of air defense a little bit also. Didn't notify me. Or I didn't get the memo, as they say. Yeah. Now it will attack my infantry, but there isn't too much follow-up here. So it's relatively unimportant. I think I made this needlessly complicated for myself. No, it doesn't like walking onto rivers. And now I can do this, and this, and this, and this. They could hurt me, but they will only push him back into the river where nothing else can attack him. So it cost me a few points of prestige, but he also managed to walk out into the open. But had there been more units present, then my way of advancing across this area would definitely be very bad. Now I get the triple overrun. And let's see. No, I cannot get an overrun because it's a city, but at least I can wipe him out then. And I can use this to capture and capture. And now I have captured all the flags. Completely unnecessary, but fun. You get a couple of 100 prestige, but yeah. So, and that was nice. Oh, there's victory music in that light, and it's very loud. Cool. See you outside Warsaw.